standards through development. How we're developing our nations properly so that people wouldn't be angry all the time and feel that they are left out. When we want peace, we have to bring everyone along and make sure everyone feels a part of, or we will have serious issues, not only in the nation fighting and having unrest situation, but we need mental peace, so we will not have all sorts of mental issues going on, internal conflicts going on, and then it turns into external conflicts. So we must have peace and social development, and we have to raise our voices as First Ladies to make sure that this happens within our countries. Because as we keep the peace, we will have global impact of peace in most of our countries, if not all. All those countries where we are seeing conflict today, that takes another level of concentration by our husbands or peers, I don't want to go there, who have to write legislation. I'll just leave it there for now. So listen, as it relates to technology and artificial intelligence, we have to visit that as well. And because these are all concerning, and as the leaders of our country artfully juggles all the matters they have to juggle, with meager resources in some cases, we as First Ladies also have to be part of the conversations to calm down our people and make us, with different initiatives, make us feel a part of and make us feel happier, so that we will have internal and inner peace to start with, and also advise our husbands how to pass legislation to help maintain that peace. So in the Bahamas, we have taken the Sustainable Development Goals and we have worked that into all our national development strategy and our national development plans. And we as women, we have the added charge of bringing the concerns of gender inequality as well, particularly that of women and girls, to bring that forward, and stopping the violence and providing pathways for proper health care. All that matters to humanity is what we have to bring to the forefront, and let our voices as fast as loud as possible to make sure all these societal ills are taken care of so we can have peace in our homeland first. So, we have signed on in the Bahamas, we have signed on to the Convention for the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, called CEDAW, in 1993. We are also addressing gender-based violence with the recent establishment of a family court system who work hand in hand with the Department of Gender and Family Affairs in bringing greater awareness and assistance to our communities. And the Bahamas is committed to all the Sustainable Development Goals. And my husband, the Honorable Prime Minister, he has affirmed that despite the challenges we face, we do have the political will to continue to be action-driven towards achieving our Sustainable Development Goals. As you are aware, the Bahamas is an archipelagic nation which falls within the hurricane belt. And even though I would like all of you to visit our lovely shores and come and experience our aquamarine waters, friendly people and warm sunshine, we in the Bahamas are at risk for extreme weather conditions during the hurricane season. And I want to say that whenever any of our islands are hit by such harsh weather conditions as we were in 2019 with the passage of Hurricane Dorian, our resources are stretched thin, our economy suffers, and our people are left greatly traumatized. We still have traumatized people now from 2019, and we are facing a lot of unrest among our people, within themselves. Once we get that under control, we will be well on the way to having peace within our nation. So notwithstanding these realities, The Bahamas has established a Sustainable Development Goal Unit in the Bahamas in 2018 and continues to endorse an action-based approach to the Sustainable Development Goals within its government ministries, within its department and agencies. And additionally, our National Development Plan is guided, the development plan is called National Development Plan Vision 2030. It is guided actually by the Sustainable Development Goals of social inclusion, gender equality, environmental protection, and economic growth. That's how serious we are in the Bahamas about achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. The Sustainable Development Initiatives are supported through a focus on the environment as seen in our National Environmental Policy. And we have taken tangible steps in the push towards gender responsive practices through the training of entrepreneurs so that youth, women, and girls, and our disabled population are seen, respected, and afforded rights and opportunities that they deserve. And then we have the Bahamas Development Bank that we have appointed and selected as the National Coordinating Authority for the joint SDG Fund in collaboration with various United Nations agencies. Every year, every month I should say, our government in the Bahamas is thinking of ways to be part of the Sustainable Development Goals, to enhance our nation and to make sure peace, that we're a stable nation and we have peace. So I'm also proud to say, just last week, September 5th, I think it was 5th to 12th, we just hosted the 47th Commonwealth Parliamentary Association Regional Conference. And the president of that conference, Michelle Adderley, she said that a serious obstacle to women's political participation is sexism, harassment, and threats of violence. Still today, that is happening. So we have, I think some of the statistics are as follows. 81% reported being subjected, these are women in politics. 81% reported of being subjected to psychological violence. 65% reported that they were the victims of sexual or sexist remarks. And 25% reported experiencing physical violence. Imagine that. In this day and age, that is what they're doing to help prevent women from advancing in politics so that they can have a seat around the table to make decisions for us. So SDG 16, Sustainable Development Goal 16, it aims to promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development and provide access to justice for all and to build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. Oh, this is so wordy, all this. But it means that the current reality is, without peace, our ability to achieve lasting success with any of the Sustainable Development Goals is compromised. Peace cannot be attained, even in part, even if we are not all on the same page. We have to find a way to bring, I would say, the pacifists, the warmongers, the apathetic, and the indifferent. They must all come to the table. And then this fight then calls for a different type of agitation. This type of fight for peace calls for policy writing, recommendations, and the development of law through treaties and resolutions that have their place and that have been successful. And however though, in spite of all these efforts, we are faced with a current reality that there is still violence of all types. We have human trafficking, insecurity, torture, crime, all sorts of crimes, lack of justice, attacks on the most vulnerable, abuses of power, and shameless violations of basic human rights. All these we still have going on. If you take it country by country, you would find all this still happening in these countries. I mean, we haven't even addressed the worldwide peace yet. We haven't even addressed the Ukraine and Russia, and we haven't addressed the Gaza Strip. But in our countries, where we have conflicts, we have to solve those first, I think. We should concentrate on that and bring everyone to the table. So facing the lack of harmony in our world is indeed a scarce reality. So closer to my home, where I come from, in the Caribbean, we have a crisis in the Republic of Haiti, where we have armed gangs freely roaming the streets and citizens, especially women, fear for their lives since the death of President Morsi in 2021. In an article authored by Jean-Michel Hotteville in 2024, he stated about Haiti that as the country continues to sink into a deep political and security crisis, more and more Haitian women are being raped by members of armed groups. Access to healthcare is difficult and local organizations are overwhelmed. And the Bahamas has stepped in to play a tangible role in helping to bring security and stability to the streets of Haiti. Our Royal Bahamas Defense Force have been deployed since October last year to help in this mission. And a bit further overseas, of course, we have the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Every day that we listen to the news, we hear of the many precious lives lost through bombings. We see the injured, and we are told of the displacement of people. All right, and the regional conflicts, such as the Russia-Ukraine war and the Gaza conflict, illustrate the devastating human cost and the complexity of modern warfare. Various countries have shown and continue to demonstrate their support to ending these wars through protesting, calling for peace, sitting at the table, but we have not gotten there yet. And we must pray that they find the answer to end these wars, as the reach of that war, of those wars, is reaching and affecting economies worldwide. Even as far as the West, where I am from, our economies are being affected by the wars here in the other parts of the world, in the East as well. So we have to address those. So why do we want peace? Well, Paul Jenkins in 2023 said, peace is essential for fostering social stability. It creates an environment where trust, where cooperation, and mutual respect can thrive. In peaceful societies, individuals can focus on improving their well-being and pursuing opportunities without fear of violence or conflict. And a well-functioning government characterized by low levels of corruption and equitable resource distribution is a direct outcome of peace. The thing is, the conditions for peace, I'm turning pages, I'm not going to read all of this. Peace will not come by the snap of our fingers. Building peace is a complex task, like we said. A famous musician, I have to say this, Jimi Hendrix, in his wisdom, said that when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. As the young people in my country would say, that is deep, very deep. And I therefore say to you that continuous work must be undertaken to ensure that peaceful conditions and that countries are ripe for peace building. Especially advocating inclusivity of everyone, even the disabled, fostering positive relationships, and seeking to awake the good and the positive in all of us. So we have to look at everything, the Constitution, what needs to be changed, as far back as that, I should say. So how are we pursuing peace in the Bahamas? The Bahamas has shown its commitment to the peace efforts of the United Nations since 1973, when it was appointed a sovereign state. We have always supported cooperation between nations and amicable resolutions to challenges. We have remained engaged in all efforts, as is noted, throughout support of peace missions, such as the one mentioned earlier with Haiti, promoting human rights for peace, and Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and all sorts of international covenant on civil and political rights. We join all these movements. We have the establishment of a Bureau of Human Rights and Human Security in our mission, in our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, actually, since 2023. We signed the historic agreement last year with the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights for the Caribbean. We have regional cooperation by establishing diplomatic ties with nations as Samoa and Malawi, who share common concerns as climate change, goals, peace, sustainable development. I mean, the list is long as to all the steps that the Bahamas is taking. We signed on to the Treaty of, I think it's what? Catelco, many years ago in 1976. This treaty ensures that Latin America and the Caribbean remain a nuclear weapon-free zone. Just recently, we passed the Protection Against Violence Bill Act in 2023. And then we ratified in 1995 the Belém do Pará Convention, which is an inter-American convention to combat gender-based violence. We are trying everything we can in the Bahamas. These are just examples that I'm giving you to keep peace and to make sure the region, our region there in the Caribbean, has peace. But we're still working on helping our neighbor, Haiti. But I must say that we, to a very great degree, we in the Bahamas have had a peaceful nation. In our constitution, we are called a Christian society and a peaceful nation, and I think we live up to that reputation. So listen, in conclusion, let me say this. Let me see if I can say something really good, powerful. Gatherings such as this one, where we take stock of how far we have become in our journey towards the active facilitation of the Sustainable Development Goals and the need for peace in our nations could never be a waste of time. Some of us may feel pressured that we only have 5 years remaining until we reach 2030. Okay? That's the deadline given for the achievement of world peace, worldwide peace, prosperity, and protection. As the global chair for the Gender Priority Strategy, and as the First Lady of the Bahamas, and one who is deeply invested in the struggle for peace, I encourage each of you to remain steadfast in your convictions, and let us promote peace through speaking up against violence, speaking up against hate, discrimination, and encourage others to join the conversation. Respect diverse perspectives, promote human rights, and to serve as ambassadors for peace. And I want to thank the United Nations, the Commonwealth countries, and each of you here that represent your respective countries. I want to thank each of you for the excellent work that you have done through the years and still continuing to do. And I trust and I depend on all of you here